Welcome to the Lone Machinist podcast. This is going to be a special episode where we're filling in case one of us decides that we feel like dying, like happened on the weekend. So we're not going to be covering what's going on in the week or in this past week. It's going to be covering one of our topics that are on our topic doc. And in this case, it's going to have to do with the physical machine layout and workshop layout and how we power machines and whatnot. So yeah, how are you doing this morning, Curt?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing on your lovely evening?
A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah, you're looking a little rough. So
yeah, yesterday I was not doing hundreds when we recorded. But anyway, that episode is busy being processed now and will be up at the normal time. But yeah, this is going to be just one in the can for if one of us can't make the podcast for some reason. Then we have something. Otherwise, it'll come out around episode 50. So if you haven't heard it, or if you hear it and episode 50 has come out, this is bonus content. If you hear it before episode 50, One of us is trying not to die.
No, I figured it's a good topic because we both run garage shops and I get a ton of questions of people being like, "Oh, can I fit this in a garage?" Well, yeah, you could, but it's a 20,000-pound machine. So I don't know. It's kind of cool to cover the weird topic.
Well, my garage doors are a perfect example. Technically speaking, exactly. The LK could have fitted.
Okay.
Technically speaking. But as soon as you put a forklift under it, it doesn't fit anymore. So
yeah, exactly.
I had to remove my garage doors and put an I-beam across the front and then put sliding doors in so that we could get the machine in reasonably.
Okay, I was wondering why you have those style of doors, but that's specifically why you had to do it.
I had
to get the machine
tilting doors, and I was going to rip the tilting doors out and put roll-up doors, and then the machine technically would have fitted. But if you put it on skates, it wouldn't fit anymore. So I then decided that I was just going to rip the lintels out. So we jacked the roof up. This was about a week and a half before the machine arrived. We borrowed a bunch of jacks, from my friend's parents who have a building company. Jacked the roof up. In one day, pulled the doors off, knocked the brickwork out. Had the guys arrive. I had the I-beam delivered the day before. They chopped the I-beam, welded the end pieces on. We put it in place, screwed it to the rafters, screwed it to the wall, and then did the brickwork on the edges all in one day and put the doors in.
That's intense.
It was great fun. We didn't even work late that day. It was all pretty well planned. We had built the doors. We knew what the size of the opening was. Everything was prepped. And then, one day we just came in, smashed the doors out, put the I-beam in. I think we left the jacks there for another day or two, just to let the cement go hard. And then, we were off to the races.
Yeah, just that easy. Just totally change the entire facade of the front of your garage to squeeze a machine in. Yeah.
And then it took us a year and a half to paint the doors.
Oh, that's fine. That's just, that's not a problem.
No. And now they're insulated as well. But those small things, my driveway is ruined. It has trenches down it from putting the LK in. It's probably going to get trenches in it again when we pull Bertha out because it's now been raining because it's our rainy season. So the ground's going to be soft. So when Bertha comes out, we're probably going to ruin the paving again, but that's what it is. It's the joys of...
So that was the one thing that I was nervous when I bought this place is I knew the equipment I'd be putting in. And it wasn't so much the equipment because I'm it's thousands of pounds, whatever the footprint. When you work it out, it's not crazy compared to a vehicle or two large trucks or something in a two-car garage. But I was more concerned about, the machine plus the giant forklifts driving up the driveway.
Yeah.
So I had a concrete company come out and they basically checked everywhere and they're like, oh yeah, you have tons of void. I mean, every house is going to have voids underneath the foundations or the garage pad and your driveway just because soil settles.
Yeah.
So I got them to foam fill it. They filled it all with foam just to kind of back the concrete. Probably not necessary, but I didn't want to have a giant forklift. Yeah, and just conk and oh no.
Well, the forklift, when they put Bertha in, I could see the paving making waves, but it didn't sink because that was only a 4-ton forklift. The machine was 2.5 tons plus 4-ton rated forklift. When they did Bertha, it was a 7-ton rated forklift. When they did the LK, it was a 7-ton rated forklift. So that thing probably weighed 3 or 4 tons. So my paving, I had trenches down my paving. It is what it is. It's the price of putting a machine in a garage.
Yeah, well, and I think I got a little bit lucky too. When I dropped the sile, the sile was 7,000 pounds and loaded up on the pallet anyways, and then with the forklift. But I bought a big because I wasn't sure if it was going to have like a foot of snow when it came.
Yeah, you had
So
a
I rented.
monster.
Yeah, I rented like an outdoor forklift. So which the nice aspect is you have huge like agricultural tires. So the footprint of like the weight you're putting on it isn't like a little rubber forklift tire. It's humongous. So I was like, okay, that's way easier on point loading things. So it's still not an issue, but yeah, it was just
much better.
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, even
yeah,
the one that did the LK, that thing had beefy tire. It wasn't a small forklift, but yeah, it was. The point load was clearly enough to ruin my paving.
Oh no!
It's not the end of the world. Yeah, the other question we seem to get a lot about is power supply to these machines. But I think you and I are both in a bit of a unique situation with our machines being quite low horsepower or kilowatt rating. I mean, the Sal's 10, mine's 6.5 kVA. I don't know. Everyone thinks they need 100 horsepower. I'm very much not of that opinion. Like, I get by with the 6.5 kVA machine, and it's not like I'm running into limits on a daily basis.
Yeah, like unless you're absolutely going like even mine, the Sal it'll pull 20 amps of 3-phase. We'll talk about phase converters in a bit, but like you don't need a crap ton of power.
No.
I mean, it depends what you're doing. I mean, I think the problem is most machines, if people buy a used machine, they're just naturally going to have an enormous, like if it's an old industrial machine, it's going to have like an enormous spindle on it. And then you're kind of hosed. But if you're buying new, you don't need a crap ton of power.
Yeah, no, like I mean, the LK I run at 90% spindle load, 99%, somewhere around there on my roughing tools. No problem. I've got 100 amp service. I've never run into an issue. That's 100 amp at 220 volts, so 22 kilowatts of service. Will happily run the anodizing setup, both lathes and the LK, and not have an issue. I can do that on my 20 kVA generator and not really have an issue. I think that thing's peaked at like 60% load.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
But the important thing there is what's measured is managed. Like, I put a power meter in, and then all of a sudden I realized, I actually have like 7 kilowatts of overhead when everything's running. That's when everything peaks. I've got quite a bit of overhead, which is going to get eaten up a bit now with the new lathe, but not too badly.
Yeah, well, I mean, when my machine runs, like I make small parts, so it's not fair because my biggest tool is a 3/16 tool. So like my spindle load is, I don't know, 4%, 7% if I'm really getting after it. So it's like the only time it sees 100 is when it's spinning up and spinning down. Yeah. So
that's also when I see it the most. Like I'll be watching TV and my lights will dim because the machine's stopping the spindle and rapiding up at 48 meters a minute. It eats some power then, but it eats power for all of 2 seconds and then it's back to normal.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I think my machine's at 10, I want to say 10 amp, but that seems a bit low. It seems a lot low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Well, 3-phase. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 3-phase. It should be about, it adds up pretty quickly, but that should only be about 3.8 kilowatts. So, but I mean, 16, call it 16 amps. It's not a lot of power. The phase converter I have can run 23 kilowatts, if I'm not mistaken, or 23, something to that effect. You can run 3-4 kilowatt motors continuously on it, like simultaneously. I think, or 2 7.5 kilowatts, something to that effect. It is on their really sketchy website because it's a locally made unit.
See, and this is the point that always enrages me online when people are like buying like phase converters or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get like a 40 horsepower." I'm like, "You can't power it." They're like, "Well, just in case." Like it doesn't matter. Like watts are watts. However many watts you have available, that's the only amount of watts you can put out. Less because efficiency losses. But like, there's no point in buying a giant phase converter if you can't feed it the power it's gonna need. Like,
the episode of Taps and Patience that they just did with Ben from Prickly Pear Prototypes.
Oh,
he was saying he's got a 10 horsepower phase converter. He's never ever reached the limit and he's stalled his robo-drill spindle. I'm like, stalling your spindle doesn't pull all the power. It realizes there's a following error and doesn't actually pin the power. I know because I've done it too on a somewhat regular basis, tapping M10, rigid tapping M10 or rigid tapping M12s, and Ali, you notice it.
Right.
But that's the thing. I don't know. Like the Haas is 20 horsepower spindle motors. Like, you're never going to use that. Like, it's just burning power for nothing. Like,
well, look at the efficiency curves too. Like some of those are rated at crazy power, but it's like, oh, that's your 200% power that you can do for 2 minutes, not
Yeah.
like your continuous power rating. So like there's tons of little things you have to look at
Well, I was
because they like to
reading
hide that.
Fanuc manuals, my favorite thing in the world. The spindle motor on the new lathe is 3.7 continuous, 5.5 for 30 minutes. So now I'm like, okay, do I buy a 5.5 kilowatt VFD or do I run it on a 4 kilowatt VFD that I have? I'm going to try it on the 4 kilowatts. Worst case, I can upgrade. But I'm never, ever going to run it near that load. I run small
Mhm.
parts. Like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be near that. So, yeah, it's interesting to see all these racing, especially horse. 20 horsepower. No, it's a 5 horsepower motor. You can run it at 20 horsepower for 30 seconds, and then you're going to run into trouble.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the famous thing of horsepower.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like same thing. People are like, well, I want to push it. It's like, okay, but you have hours in a day. Like work on your efficiencies and automations to run in the
Yeah,
night hours, so you don't have to be running at like flat out. Just
100%.
run it easy for 24 hours as opposed to just trying to kill it in 8. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Like, I've taken to doing that a little bit more lately. Just let it run reliably. Today, actually, I ran into that today. Turns out when you put a pallet on an anchor point and then a chuck on that and then a long part on that, your moment load up here gets really intense. So I was actually having the pallet lifting a bit with my roughing passes. I had to go to less step over because it was actually lifting the whole assembly because I was going a little bit savage mode. But yeah, I mean, slow it down and let it run reliably rather than fast. Because
Yeah,
what's it?
totally.
There's
Yeah,
that old saying: it's slow is smooth and smooth is fast,
totally. Yeah, absolutely.
and
Yeah.
that can't be understated. But yeah, like, powering machines not particularly difficult. But then I think both of us have a bit of a aptitude for figuring out electrical stuff, and house wiring is not particularly complicated, other
No,
than the
no,
stupid
exactly.
shit they like to do with shared neutrals. But other than that, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, like I said, it's just plumbing with
Yeah,
like
plumbing with
fixies.
electricity. Yeah,
Not yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just everything functions basically the same. Bigger pipes, bigger flow, smaller
yeah.
pipes, higher like it all works out. It's kind of the same.
Is your lathe behind you the manual lathe? Is that a single phase lathe?
Yeah, single. The
Okay.
hard inch is single. Well, the hard inch was 3 phase. The hard inch
Yeah, it
is now single
was. I
phase.
remember that.
And yeah, I mean technically it's 2 phase through a VFD, so it's 3 phase. But yeah, I downgraded that one, which I killed the power curve doing so.
Yeah,
But who cares? Because it's a 5C lathe, so like the biggest stock I put in is 1 inch, and if it can make it through 1 inch diameter, for me, that's all I need. So
yeah.
but yeah, the manual is just 220
Did
single phase. So
did you not have that motor? Did you not change over from star to delta to run it on lower voltage?
It wasn't able to be changed from star to delta or
Ah,
like it was it was I think what it was is 12 coils
okay,
and then 3 of them running per phase or sorry, 4 running per phase.
okay.
And then what I did is instead of doing that I how the shit did I do this?
I
Oh,
remember
sorry.
you
Yeah, it
you
was
fondled the
4
motor quite a bit.
yeah, it was 4 coils per phase for 600 volts. So they
Okay,
were all wired in like series, and I just basically paralleled them so I could drop the voltage way down because I just
okay.
had like no power. And then so I changed the essentially I've changed the pole arrangement,
Yeah,
which means I've lost a lot of torque and I've lost a lot of efficiency. But it's a
that's not.
600 3 phase motor that's
Yeah,
now currently running on 220 3 phase, which
yeah.
generate a 3 phase out of an inverter. So yeah, it saved me having to totally gut that system and cobble my own together.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm running all dual voltage motors on my like where I've run a VFD, so it's
Mm,
they've got star delta windings. You run in whichever one for whichever voltage. Now this new Fanuc motor is a 200 volt motor, so bonus because
yeah.
220 volts or 208 is a somewhat common three phase voltage, and
Mm,
this
mhm,
machine has a 380 to 220 volt step down transformer on the machine because everything is rigged for
mhm.
200 volts. I like score single phase VFDs because our single phase here is 230 volt or 220 or whatever it feels like being on the day. It's like, yeah, I think it's
Oh, okay.
230 is our single phase here. That's what it's labeled as.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So like you guys, as far as I know, you guys are the same as you. So we got split phase coming in. So you got two hot legs
Yeah,
between them. Yeah. So we don't. We've got 220 and a neutral coming in, or 230 and a neutral, and then
yeah.
our three phase is 380 between the three legs with no neutral, generally speaking.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
like if you, so what we used to do, where I used to work, is we get a isolation transformer, which you bring in 380, it generates 380 out and a neutral leg, so that you could power your 220 volt devices with only your three lives in.
Okay, so you're just residential, like your tea kettle, your
Yeah,
toaster, whatever. Is
220
that a
volts.
220? Okay,
No,
that
no,
makes
no. We
sense.
do bath bombs properly. Yeah.
That's proper. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, volts are better. I wish everything was
100%.
like 600 volts because then you
I
could have just
mean,
hair thin wires.
our plugs are rated at 16 amps, like our wall
Okay,
sockets. So
yeah.
it's a shitload of power. It's 3 point something kilowatts coming out of every plug in your house. It's kind of stupid. But I also learned that when you run a lathe on a single plug, the switches burn out. I killed 3 of them in one day because my
Oh.
Bertha was plugged into the roof of my workshop. Like literally, I had a plug box on plugged in, and I was running an alley job where I was roughing at pretty much. I would run until I'd hear the spindle stalling, pause, let the spindle
Mhm.
spin back up, and then carry on. And yeah, 3 times in a row, blew up the plug, blew the first plug. I'm like, oh shit, plug it into the next one, carry on, same thing, put a different plug in, same thing, and then I wired it directly into my DB board.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you learn where these limits are. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's interesting to hear all the different power things. Like I know the UK on job sites, like construction sites, it's
Yeah.
120-volt split phase. So
Oh,
between
weird. Okay.
neutral and any of the lives, there's only a 60-volt potential. So there's less chance of electrocution. So like all their jackhammers and drills
Oh,
on the site run with 120 split phase.
interesting.
Yeah, and like the world's got very interesting. Like apparently they want to change our plug standard here now. I'm like that will
Yeah.
never ever ever happen in my lifetime. Our plug
Yeah. Yeah.
standard
No.
was made
Yeah.
for the stupidest people in the world. Like it's so over engineered, it's insane. My my 63 amp 3 phase or big single phase plug for my generator has smaller connectors in it or pins in it than my standard household plugs.
Oh, okay. So just
It's like
beefed.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, my 24-volt power supply. That's our wall plug.
Oh, okay. You have like what looks like here
Eight
is a dryer
millimeter
plug.
ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
8 millimeter ish and like 11 mils. It's insane.
Those are
Like
huge. That's your
it's
normal residential
that's
plug?
our normal residential plug, and then um, cell phone chargers and things
That
are
is
EU
humongous.
standard. So the 2-pin EU standard is like our two
Sure.
pin
Yeah.
plug
Yeah.
for cell phone chargers. That's our general plug to plug into the wall. It's fucking insane.
That's insane. That's huge. That
Yeah,
looks like a dryer plug here
no, it's
for the
nuts.
listeners. Yeah.
I dig it, but yeah, like they supersized, and they've been like that for the
Yeah.
longest time. I'm assuming because the guys who designed the standard figured the people here were stupid.
Yeah.
Like the US plugs terrify me. I've got a couple of them in the garage running something or other, like cell phone chargers. From whenever I go to
Yeah.
the US, I'll buy an extension cord because inevitably the Airbnb, there's no plug near the bed, so I'll buy an extension cord and then I'll buy a
Mm,
charger or two and then bring them back with me. So I have a few of them kicking around. I think there's one under my desk. Yeah, it's powering
Yeah.
my LEDs. Is the US plug from my Nexus 7 tablet that I bought in 2012.
Mm,
I ended up just soldering wires to it because I didn't feel like using an adapter, which
proper.
is
Yeah.
not the worst thing I've done. Also, these are really easy to jerry rig where you just put 2 wires, then shove the plug in, and it makes contact.
All just a long about way saying that basically no matter what machine you buy, you could probably make the voltage work
100%.
whatever system you have. Like my Sile is like 380 volts, which takes a transformer. But once again, like if you know electrics, that's good. Or if you don't, you just get an electrician. It's
So,
super easy to step up or step down,
as far as I know,
voltages.
the LK is also 220 volts. There's a transformer on the side of it. So I
Oh,
bought a
okay.
phase converter with a built-in transformer. So my phase converter goes single phase 220, 3-phase
Right.
220 through a transformer to the machine at 380. So it
Oh,
actually
okay. Okay.
steps up in the giant fucking rattling box that is my phase converter. It actually steps it up to
Hmm.
380 volts. And then my machine has a transformer and steps it down to 200.
Oh, well, that's lame. I mean, I guess
I
if you had a
didn't.
long wire run, it'd be nice, but
Yeah, the wire and like when you actually look at the required gauge of wire, it's hilarious. It's like freaking
right. Yeah.
maybe 16 millimeter diameter, 4-core wire. It's freaking tiny
Yeah.
and more than adequate because again we're only pulling like 10 amps, 10 or 16
Yeah.
amps. It's bugger all power. But yeah, it's kind of interesting when you look at all these transformers and things that go into these machines because a lot of the control systems are 208 or 220 or somewhere around there. but three-phase around the world varies from 480 to 380 to 208. I know the backs of the Haas machines have got a bunch of taps on their transformer that you can move the thing across to match.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, I mean, it's kind of self-fixing because, like, if you're buying a used machine you're probably buying in your area, so it's probably already kind of set up for what you're going to get. So
yeah.
Unless
And then the
crazy.
other fun thing is walking sideways through your giant garage. Less of a problem for me now because my new table is in. I can now just walk straight out of my workshop. It's really surprisingly pleasant to be able to just walk straight out without having to walk like a crab. And then I'm putting machines in that I'm not going to be able to walk straight through, but not the point.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both set up our shops so like be tight for like get as many machines as you can in, or have the space too. And like if it's a main thoroughfare in my garage, like if there's a couple areas where like cells, if you want to think about it that way, where I made sure that it would be comfortable to move back and forth because I'm moving back and forth 50 times a day. But there's a couple areas I'm like, I don't care if I have to crab walk this spot because I only go here 1 or 2 times a day.
Well, that's the rearrange that I'm planning. I'm going to build a cell between all my machines that it's easy to get between them. If I need to get to the back of the machine, something's wrong or it's not every 10 minutes. So that I can deal with that being like a little bit more cumbersome to get to. But yeah, that's the plan for rearranging the workshop. Whether it goes to plan is a different situation.
Did you do it in the layout of your floor in like Fusion or just cut out like little paper templates or
No, I've had that model since I moved in. I updated it on Friday night. I was going to show you before this recording, but my computer was slowing. I updated it on Friday night. Made the door on the good way move and made something on the screen. Normal dumb shit. But I also don't trust that model entirely. It's pretty accurate to about 100 mils, I think, with a few of the spacings. I'm very much considering some shenanigans that would let me put that bar feeder into my workshop. Because the good way comes with bar feeder. Very much considering it. But we'll see how it all shakes out. The more I think about it, the more I think the Slowio needs to go to the door. Because it runs less than the MCO does. So I put the MCO in the shop where my work cell is going to be. I think it'd be a bit of a smarter decision. But I might just have to wait on that and then borrow a pallet jack the good way back, and then I can move those 2 machines in the workshop. I'll have enough space to shimmy them around if I decide I want to. Because moving the MCO, I've got it's a trolley I made. You put the pieces in, you stand on the end, and it pops onto wheels. You stand on the other end, it pops onto wheels. You put 2 G clamps, and then it's on wheels. So then I can wheel it around relatively easily. And the Slowio was designed and built on the 3rd story of a block of flats. So it has its own trolley that I drop it onto and it can wheel around and fit through a doorway.
Oh, sick.
Yes. No, that machine, a lot of time and effort went into making sure that thing would fit out of my flat. Like, I've heard stories of guys building things in flats and breaking the wall down to get them out. So that machine, like, measure the door, measure the width of the hallways, measure the opening in the elevators. Like, quite...
Right, yeah.
A lot of planning went into that one. Like that drove some of the major design decisions on that machine. Was making sure it could get out.
Makes sense. Yeah, it would suck to like be walking out and then be like, oh, we can't get in the elevator. It'd be like, oh no. Thank goodness the elevators work because they haven't been working there for like a year and a half. Not ideal situation. But that's Yeah, and then how? Okay, well, you don't have any chips, so that's kind of a stupid question to ask you. It's a good point though, because most people do. So
I made, as in my discussion on with intolerance, relationships are everything. I had a guy that was fetching my chips, but he was giving me like literally pennies on the pound. It was like I was getting bugger all. And I mentioned this to one of my customers, and they do pressings, and he's like, "Oh no, we get like as good a rate as you're going to get anywhere." Because they're filling up a skip every week with punch-outs from press tools. So he said, no, just bring it. Whatever I get, I'll give you for them. So now I take my shavings there like once every 2 months or so. I've got 1,000-litre RPC tote in the front yard that catches all my aluminium. And then I've got some wheelie bins and tubs that I do my steel in. Then what I'll do is I'll drive to him, fetch an RPC, reverse into my driveway, dump all my steel shavings in, drive straight back to him and offload it with the forklift. Because if I load steel onto the rack, I can't get the IPC onto my truck. The last time I did that, we dragged it a bit with the truck, then put a pole behind it and reversed the truck, and it was dodgy as hell. So like aluminium, this batch is going to be a problem. This batch is probably 200 or 300 kilograms of aluminium. But yeah, I made friends with them, and then I get good rates on my aluminium. Otherwise, generally there's people that'll take it away. Well, at least here they are. Guys will come and give you a low price, but they'll come and fetch it, that you don't have to deal with it.
Same here. Everyone, I don't think anywhere in the world, someone's willing to scrap metal. Like, I mean, my scrap is decently valuable. It's titanium. I mean, it's not as good as like brass or copper, but I think I get about $1 a pound. And I have 50 liter. Yeah, I have 50 liter totes, and I have 4 of them. And it takes me a while to fill all whatever that is, 200 liters.
Yeah.
But then it's worth the drive. You know, it's a few $100, and it could buy me lunch, whatever.
Yeah.
Make a small product. That's my main thing is design a small product to make, because then you don't have to really worry about moving thousands and thousands of pounds of chips.
I take great care in keeping my aluminium separate from everything else, because that's what I run most of the time. If I run brass, I'll try and keep it separate. I mean, I've got probably 10 or 15 kilos of brass from the weekend that I need to just sit and pick the bits of aluminium out because I don't clean my machine thoroughly enough. But as long as you get it pretty good, they don't ask. As long as if they shove a magnet in, nothing comes out, you're good. If they shove a magnet in and steel shavings, then they're not interested. So I'm picky about that. But otherwise, like my lathes, mixed shavings. That just gets thrown in a bin. I reverse it with an IPC tote, steel, alley, whatever, dumped in there. I mean, even the copper I did the other day, it just got into the mixed shavings. I could pick the bar up with one hand. It's not worth cleaning the machine out so thoroughly for half a kilogram of copper.
No, totally.
Chasing diminishing returns. And then coolant is the other one. You haven't had to get rid of coolant yet.
I have not, and that's one of the reasons I went with MB50 coolant, just because I know it's like stupid bulletproof, and I was like, I can't be dumping coolant every 6 months because it's going to be crazy annoying. And that's another thing. My sump is tiny, like it's an 80 liter sump, so I don't have a lot of coolant.
Small.
But I mean, it's not like 500
same as
liters
the
or something.
just saying.
A little baby one.
Yeah, no, the MCO's got a small tank. It actually evaporates out pretty quick. So unfortunately, I have had to get rid of coolant. 300 liters of it so far.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's all sitting in my yard. I went to one of my customers. I'm like, hey, you use degreaser. Can I have the containers? Got a whole bunch of 25-liter containers. Pumped it out, got Monica to suck the tank out, and then I pumped it into those. Sealed them off, and they're sitting there. There's a service that will take away old coolant, but they charge per liter. It's not a lot of money. It's just more money than I've had spare, so I haven't had it taken away yet. I'm going to have to now, the next month or so, that has to be taken away. Because I've got 140 or 160 liters to come out of Bertha.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, getting sold, so machine needs to be emptied.
We have like the same services here. They'll come and they'll drop off like 55-gallon drums, and you can just fill them, and then they'll take the drums away and you just pay for it. That's honestly probably the easiest way. And almost no matter what they charge, it's worth it. Not worth my time.
My exactly. Is load it all on my truck, drive to the Klip River, pour it in, and it can only make that river cleaner. It can only make it cleaner. Like, if you go to that river, you can literally see the mushed up toilet paper in the water, like the minced toilet paper. That river's disgusting. We used to fish in it. We don't anymore because you only catch turds. But yeah, like that when I asked the guys at Tabs and Patience, they're like, just pour it in a field. I'm like, no, I have multiple 100 liters of really stinky coolant. I'm not going to go poison a field.
Yeah, it's just like, let's try to not. What the best?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I say the easiest way is just to go the way of my hard hinges and just neat oil. It just runs pure oil. And then you don't worry about anything.
Well,
it just stays there forever.
So I was chatting to one guy. He reckons, no, what you do, he's on an industrial property. He reckons the drain at the bottom of the industrial property, you fucking put a drum next to it, poke a small hole and let it drip in there constantly. And every time someone flushes a toilet, it dilutes it. And I'm like, dude, no. But that's the thing. Industrial areas, guys do shit like that. I mean, pour it down the fucking road. Guys do all sorts of stupid things.
And the next guy that has to buy the place and gets like ecological sampling is just fucked because the ground is totally
So where I used to work, we had an RPC tote of frot coolant, like fucking disgusting. And electricity apparently was free, My boss got a bathtub, put two
Oh no,
six
I know where
kilowatt
this is
elements
going.
into it with a float switch.
Oh no.
And every night the guys used to dump in and would turn this thing on before we left. And when the float switch went
Oh
down, the elements turned off. And did that for weeks till we basically had a 55-gallon drum just of oil. And then they paid us to
right.
take it away. Because then they'll buy the oil off of you. But if there's water in it, that you must pay them. So we did that every evening. It stank the place out, but by the morning it was fine.
Ugh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
boil
I've
it
heard of
off.
people doing that.
It worked well,
no.
but no, not my cup of tea. Electricity is also not cheap. I looked at what I've spent on electricity this month and it makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
It's getting insane. Oh, yes, I was going to say, I want to dig a trench in the front of my house because if I wash anything I wash off in the driveway runs down next to the garage and then onto the grass. I want to dig a trench and fill it with gravel and just, if anything washes in there, it goes deep and fucks off instead of killing my grass. Because that, according to Popular Mechanics, that's how you get rid of old engine oil. Dig a hole, fill it with gravel, and pour your engine oil into it.
Yeah, what, 1952 Popular Mechanics? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it worked then, it'll work now.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those, and they also say to smoke Camel cigarettes because it's the number one cigarette recommended by doctors.
100%. The number of doctors that I know that smoke is something terrifying. Like, surely they would know better. But no, my sister-in-law, my mate's missus, all the doctors I know smoke.
Yeah,
what have you done for noise mitigation, Curt?
I kind of got lucky in that regard because it gets effing cold here. So when I insulated the entire garage, and the garage door is also insulated because like we'll get -40. So like if I want it warm in here, it has to be insulated. And by default, I just bought insulation that was sound deadening. So I can have the machines honking as hard as I can, and if I go outside, I can't hear through the door, like nothing.
Nice.
Like I can machine at 3 a.m. So yeah, and I also did the roof. I did everything.
I just don't care about my neighbors.
Right? Yeah. And I also didn't want my neighbors to know what I do. Like, not that I'm doing anything sneaky, but I don't want to interrupt anybody. I don't want anyone being nosy. So I made sure it was silent.
Nice.
But yeah, I get lucky in that regard.
Yeah.
How about you? How did you kill sound?
Became friends with all my neighbors.
That's a way too. Yeah, that's a way.
So my mother-in-law's fucking mansion of a cottage blocks sound to that side. It goes into a valley through our house this way. That way there's a dickhead that I don't care about. And that way there's a road. And my neighbor has a really good sound system. So I've never had any noise complaints other than this dickhead on this side being a dickhead. He had a comment one evening. I was running something on the MCO, every now and again squeaks when it clamps. But like a loud pneumatic, it's like when sealed bypasses. Like a loud, one of those. He had some comment about that. And I'm like, dude, don't even. Like, I'd given him shit, or I'd asked him to please sort out his drain on his property because the grey water was leaking through the wall into my property and my dogs were there. And I'm like, hey, dude, your drain's blocked. He took offense to me telling him his fucking drain was blocked. So then had some snarky comment about me running production in my garage. What he doesn't realize is I have residential with consent to run a business, which costs me an extra fucking amount of money every month and a stupid amount of back rates that we had to pay. So he can go and suck a dick. I really don't care about what his opinion. Like, he parks his tow truck on the fucking curb every day, which I'm pretty sure is against the law. And if it isn't, I will lay a noise complaint if I have to. So yeah, he's the only one who I really have issues with. And if I'm running noisy shit, I'll put a piece of foam in the window that faces him. Like, I don't really want to stir too much shit. My new workshop's going to be a shitload closer to him, though. But again, double brick wall. It's not like you're going to hear much through that. Like,
no, I think the easiest way is like when I moved in here, we baked cookies for all the neighbors. That goes a long way.
Like, no, that's if I look at my neighbors around me, across the road, I get drunk with him. I make knife parts for him and also drink with him. Neighbor on that side, I burglar her house when she locks herself out. Like, all the neighbors around me, I'm friendly with. The neighbors below, I'm pretty friendly with. Like, that goes a long way to just being personable to the people around you and helping out when, like, if they need a hand. Like my neighbor, hey, he'll come up and say, dude, can you come help me drill a hole in the wall? Like, he doesn't have an impact drill. I'm like, no stress, bro. I'll see you in half an hour. I'll go over there, hang something for him. Or he's the one who got me into home assistance. They're very bad influence. But just like, be friendly with your neighbors and you'll get away with a lot. And be somewhat considerate.
Yeah, absolutely. But that also lends well to like our whole areas. Like, usually our shops are stock full of like crazy tooling for
Yeah,
basically any kind of mechanical problem. So like you can help out a lot of people. Like I've helped
yeah,
my neighbors with his lawnmower, and like it just same thing. It's just like you just have all the tools. So it's
yeah.
like I'll help you, and they're like, okay, well now I've given you like you can do basically whatever you want because I like you, and it's just it
Hundred
works out.
percent. No, that's exactly it. Like it goes both ways. But in some cases, good fences make good neighbors, and in that direction, that's a fact.
Totally.
But yeah, that's
Oh,
always
and like
that's always been a touchy relationship from before I even pitched up. Like his pool was backwashing into our yard, so my mother-in-law jumped the fence to go stop it because they were flooding our yard, and then that came home from work, comes and shouts at her and all sorts of shit. While she's shouting at him, the dog's behind her. She's like, "Quiet, boy!" And they goes, "Don't call me your boy." She's like, "I'm talking to the dog that's literally barking at you." But yeah, it's one of the
right,
people
yeah.
that's got a chip on their shoulder and adamant everyone's out to screw them. And you'll unfortunately always have those people in the world.
Well, I think you did it right. Is like also make sure like legally make sure everything is in place because that helps a lot.
Yeah, like our zoning here, I don't know how we have it. I'm assuming my
Mhm.
father-in-law did it 20 years ago. I don't actually know how we have that zoning, but I'm not going to complain.
Mm.
Like, I have the zoning. I'll
Right.
pay. Like, I'm going to build a new workshop in the front yard, right by that dickhead's fucking house. Because he must, yeah, those in glass houses should not throw rocks. His generator used to be next to my bedroom window. So at 2 a.m., when the
Mm.
power went out, his generator would auto start.
Right. Yeah. 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 It's
Do
outside
you
of
know what I'm
noise
trying to fucking
hours.
see?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. And yeah, they used to
Yeah.
have parties and all. Like, he'll start his dirt bike 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, rev the shit out of it, wake the whole neighborhood up, and then go ride. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Totally.
we don't complain about our neighbors because it doesn't really help.
Yeah. Totally. Exactly.
But yeah, I
Exactly.
think that pretty much covers our topic for this episode.
That's probably most of the the issues
Yeah.
that people run into.
Like,
Like,
also, sort your floor out before you put a machine in.
yeah, totally. Yeah,
And
paint it, do whatever. Yeah,
interlocking rubber
100%.
tiles are not the answer.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I did that. The interlocking rubber tiles.
Yeah.
They're
Aw.
fine, but yeah, they were not the correct. Well, at the time they were the correct choice because I couldn't afford to epoxy the floor. The
Sure,
new
yeah.
shop, I
No,
think I will epoxy it. At
yeah,
least that's
that
the
would
plan.
be I know I painted the floor in here piecemeal, and it would have been a lot easier if it was just everything was out because it's so annoying to move
So
equipment just to paint under it.
I did my floor. Actually, no, wait, that was the tenants here that bitched and complained. I was assembling the floor in here after hours. So I would come from work, come here, sit on the
Mhm.
floor with a fucking hammer and hammer these tiles together till like 9 o'clock at night for like 5 or 6 nights. And then the tenants were bitching
Nice.
because I was making a noise. I'm like, dude, it's fucking 8 o'clock at night. You can't tell me you're sleeping
Yeah,
right now. But yeah, I did the whole floor in here before I even moved any of my equipment in. And the floor's been
yeah.
good. It's just when we put Bertha down, it ripped one of the seams, and that seam has been open since
Mm,
because you're
yeah,
not going to close it. Like it is what it is. But they're nice floors. You drop
yeah.
stuff, it doesn't generally ding, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah, that is yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you
Exactly.
can, paint and prep before you move in.
Yeah, yeah, and if the like I the best thing I did in here was paint because like concrete will always give you concrete dust. Like
Yes.
you'll never get rid of it, even if your house is like this house is built in the '90s. Um,
Oh, that's cute.
it'll just
It's so
constantly
young.
gives you dust. It is a newer home, yeah, or newer in the area, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the moment I like cleaned the floor super well and painted it, it's like
Yeah.
boom, no dust because it sealed it. Like, and I was like, oh, I should have done this right at the start. Like, it would
Yeah.
have been way better.
Yeah. I must say that the rubber flooring with total interlocking, like floor dust hasn't been a problem. Mine dump
Yeah, it would
dust
help.
is
Yeah.
always a fucking problem. Like Joburg is the worst. When I stayed in the cottage I stayed in when I moved up here, you'd wipe the top of the toilet, like a white porcelain toilet, you'd
Mhm.
wipe the top, you'd walk out the room, walk back in, and there was a layer of dust.
Yeah.
Like the mine dumps up here and the dust is just insane. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
wipe a surface and it's
Well, and
dirty again. And it's not great when you've got a lot of coolant mist in there because then everything gets like
I,
fucking gunky. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think another main point, especially in small shops like that, is like air quality. Where if you're in an area where you can have air exchange with the outside, awesome. But if you're not, like where it's either really hot or really cold, you have to sort that out too because the air can get bad quick.
Unfortunately, furnace filters not super common here because I want to make a little box fan like you've got. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
dude, buying Furnace filters, just not a thing. No one has furnaces here.
Sure. Yeah,
So like
yeah.
actually getting furnace filters is like prohibitively expensive.
I wonder if you could just buy like a giant like HEPA dust
I
collector
think
or
I'm going
something
to
like
look
that.
at getting a giant HEPA filter from one of the hydroponic stores. Because
Oh
those have
yeah,
sprung
yeah,
up
yeah,
now
yeah.
since marijuana is not legal. Everyone's fucking growing it, so those stores have popped up. They used to be kind of
Yeah.
difficult to find, and now they're just everywhere. So maybe I must do something
Yeah.
like that. Because I think the good way is also going to be bad with fucking mist. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
LK
Yeah.
today was actually really bad with the job I was running this evening. The 6mm end was dropping deep, and then the coolant was hitting the nut on the ER20 and just
I'll do it.
vaporizing. Like you open the door and you can see the mist. So I should probably, but I mean, most days my doors are open, so me just blow that shit outside.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
At least,
Yeah.
yeah, with us, the temperature's relatively pleasant most of the year.
Well, and even like I've been the hardenage is like basically plumbed to like vent outside if I needed to. Well, I do need it to when it's running, and I just pay for the heat. Like
Yeah,
it's cheaper to pay for the gas than to worry about like kind of oil mist in the air.
yeah, no, the
You don't
oil,
get oil mist. You get smoke. But
yeah,
I would like to filter that better just for the whole
the whole
sense of
planet.
it's a good thing to do. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, there's freaking jets flying everywhere, but let's not. For my part of it, I
yeah,
could
no,
I
no,
could
there's
do
jets
better.
flying
So
everywhere, but it's your hardenage that's the problem.
yeah, exactly. I'm contributing, so yeah,
Uh,
it's on the books.
yeah, no, air quality is somewhat important. It's nothing worse than coming in from a day like when I used to do a lot of welding and grinding. Oh, the black boogers, they were the worst.
Oh
Like even
yeah,
now, if
yeah.
I fondle dead tree carcasses or I do any significant grinding, I'm like, come inside, have a shower before I go to bed because I'm just covered in
Yep.
fucking crap. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a fan of grinding and welding like I used to, but not anymore. Sweet. I think we'll
Yep.
wrap
I'm
it
with
up
you.
there. Thank you,
Sounds good.
everybody, for listening to this episode that will at least come out around, hopefully, only around episode 50 as bonus content. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it as we dived into the fun topics of physical machine layout slash selection, titled by Curt. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we will, well, see you in the next episode.
Take care, all.